So I was able to forward module yesterday, and I hope you are going to find some time to read it because most of the lessons there don't need to discuss via Google Meet. So the derivative of algebraic, exponential, and logarithmic function. We are going to divide this topic into two. First, we have now the derivative of algebraic um, expression or equation. So today's lesson, you will learn how to determine derivative in a more manageable, and that is through the process of differentiation. So in differentiation, that's the process of finding the derivative. As the word implies, differentiating means taking the derivative of a function. As such, a function is differentiable at C if the derivative of f of C exists. Okay? So we have here the symbols of derivative. Whenever you see this symbol, it only implies that you'll have or that symbol means derivative. So if y is equal to f of x, then the first derivative of a function is symbolized by either the following. It's called y prime. So we also have second derivative and third derivative. F prime of x. We also have the derivative of y with respect to x or dy over dx. If u is equal to f of x and f prime of x is the same as du, then we could have the derivative as the derivative of u with respect to x. And then these are some of the symbols for the derivative. So pag derivative, ano ba ibig sabihin? Para ko ba siya papaliwanag? The derivative of a simplest function using the limit definition can be lengthy and tedious process. Yung may mga delta x na ginagawa natin. So we will be following some rules in finding for the derivative of the function. The first one, we have the derivative of the constant term. So, ano ba yung derivative ng constant term? Will you read module?
Oh, sir.
Sino to? Bon, Pagaran.
Ano po, sir, derivative daw po ng constant is 0.
The derivative of the constant function is 0. That is correct. The graph kasi ng horizontal function is a horizontal line. And a horizontal line has a zero slope. So kung meron akong y is equal to, say for example, we have 10, the derivative of that is equal to 0. That's the derivative of the function. When you have y is equal to 60, so the y prime there or the derivative is equal to 0. Clear? Let's have now the derivative of a power of a function. So we have there a function of the form of y is equal to x, and where n is a real number, y, dito y, mali ang pagkakalagay ito, pagkakatype, y raised to the power of n to, where n is a real number is called a power function. So in general, this is called the power rule. So when you have y is equal to x to the power of n, then the derivative to that is y prime is equal to n x raised to the power of n minus 1. So example to that, we have this number 3 example. I have f of x is equal to x cubed. So f prime of x there will be 3x, 3 minus 1. So that will be 3x squared. That is the derivative. The exponent was being multiplied to the numerical coefficient, and then the exponent will be subtracted by 1. Okay? Binibilisan ko, sabihin sa akin kung medyo nahihilo kasi ang climax ng aking lesson ay wala pa talaga. Nasa dulo pa. So the derivative of the power of the function, ito pala yun. Mali yung pagkakalagay ko. Okay? Double entry siya. So the constant multiple. The constant multiple states that if the derivative of a constant times a differentiable function is the constant times the derivative of the function. So if y is k f of x, where k is a constant, then k is a numerical coefficient of the function of x. So ang derivative niya will be k times f of x. Halimbawa, meron tayong h of x is equal to 5x raised to the power of 4. So find dy over dx. So we'll have to find the derivative to that. So we have now h prime of x is equal to, this is 5 times 3 over 4, and then x 3 over 4 minus 1. So we have 5 times 3 over 4, that's 15 over 4, x 3 over 4 minus 1, that is negative 1/4. So we have, since negative exponent is not accepted in mathematics because that's irrational, we have to get the reciprocal of it to make it positive. Yung meron lamang expression na negative, so that is 15 over 4x, tas magiging positive na ngayon yung 1/4. Simplifying it, we have 15 over 4. Convert mo yung x raised to the 4th power into radical form, that is 4 square root of x. You don't need to rationalize that. Okay? Okay. We have now the sum and the difference rule. Parang nakalimutan ko yata yung sa rational. Okay. Dito yung papasok sa power rule. Balikan natin to. This is number 4. For the rational kasi, Matthew Bargo wants to join. For the rational function, say for example, you have g of x is equal to 1 over x squared. The g prime of x there, you have to convert this into, gawin natin siyang x, rewrite natin to the negative 2 power. Reciprocal natin, pag na-reciprocal, naging negative. And then, using the concept earlier, yung ating definition, that will be equal to negative 2x, negative 2 minus 1. So the g prime of x will be negative 2x raised to the power of negative 3. But since you still have a negative exponent, you have to get the reciprocal of that to make it positive. And thus, the g prime of x is negative 2. Tama na pala. Kala ko exponent pa. This is now the g prime of x. Okay? Isa pa. When I have f of x is equal to 1 over the cube root of 3. So yung prime of x niyan, f prime of x, you have to, sorry, it's x. Convert this into y is equal to 1/3. Problema kapag hindi tayo marunong mag-convert from exponential to radical and vice versa, talagang medyo painful sa atin ang lesson na to. So this will be 1 over, pag ni-reciprocal ko to maging x raised to the power of negative 1/3. Correct? Tama ba ako?
Opo.
X raised to the power of negative 1/3. So this will be negative 1/3 x. So ang exponent niya na negative 1/3, minus na natin ng 1. So negative 1/3 x, negative 1/3 minus 1, that's negative 4/3. Negative siya. So we have to get the reciprocal, 3x, tapos magiging positive na ito. So negative 1 over 3x raised to the power of positive 4/3. That will be negative 1 over 3. Tapos express mo ngayon siya sa radical form, that will be cube root of x raised to the 4 power. Kaya lang meron ka pang isang x na matatanggal dyan. So negative 1 over 3x cube root of x. Kasi yung cube root of x to the 4th ay equal kay cube root of x cubed times x. So matatanggal mo pa yung isang x na nasa na nasa loob. Okay? Now let's go to the wala na po nagsa-type ng tanong ano. The sum and difference rule. Given two differentiable functions g and h, if y is equal to g of x plus minus h of x, then y prime is equal to g prime of x plus minus h prime of x. So example there we have f of x is equal to 5x raised to the 4th power, and then g of x is 1/3 cube root of x, and h of x is negative square root of 3. Yung x natin ay nasa dulo. Try natin hanapin yung f prime of x. Meron ba akong space dito? Wala. F prime of x plus g prime of x. Kunin natin ngayon ang f prime of x ngayon will be 5x 3 raised to the power of 4 plus g prime of x ngayon ay 1/3 cube root of. Yung isa lang solve natin ha kasi nasa module naman to. In case lang kasi baka hindi naintindihan ng module. So we have now 5 multiplied by 3/4 x, and then 3 over 4 minusan natin siya ng 1. Plus 1/3, i-convert muna natin into exponential, gawin natin siya 1/3. So this will be equal to 15 over 4x. 3/4 minus 1 is negative 1/4. Plus 1/3 times 1/3 x 1/3 minus 1. So this will give us 15 over 4. Pwede ba diretso ko na? X raised to the power of 1/4. Pinaba ko yung 1/4 na negative. Plus 1 over 9 x. 1/3 minus 3 is negative 2/3. So we have now 15 over 4, 4th root of x. Plus 1 over 9 x raised to the power of 2/3. So you will be left with 15 over 4, 4 square root of x, plus 1 over 9 cube root of x squared. Ito yung magiging sum niya. Okay? Nasa module yung sagot sa number 2, so I will not go deeper with number 2. Let's go now to the product. So, kasi ito yung medyo mahirap sa lahat. Keep in mind that multiplying the derivative of one factor to the derivative of another factor is not the rule in finding the product of two given functions. Instead, we are going to use this formula. Ulitin natin. Ang pag-multiply ng derivative ng isa of one factor to the derivative of another factor ay hindi yun yung rule sa paghahanap ng product of two given functions. Instead, ginagawa natin, ang derivative nito, kung meron kang dalawang polynomial, kunyari f of x at g of x, pwede mo siyang gamitin. You have u, that's the first function, and b, that's the second function. So in finding for the derivative, you have the first function multiplied by the derivative of the second function, plus the second function multiplied by the derivative of the first function. Okay? Gets? Kunyari, f of x is equal to x to the 7 multiplied by 9x squared. Okay? So ang u natin dito, i-assume natin na si x equals 7. Ang v natin, i-assume natin dyan si 9x squared. So nasabi ng definition will be u, the derivative of v, plus v, the derivative of u. So our u is x raised to the power of 7 multiplied by the derivative of dx po yan ha, 9x squared plus the v which is 9x squared multiplied by the derivative of x raised to the power of 7. So x raised to the power of 7, ang derivative po ng 9x squared ay ano? Gamitin natin yung unang concept. Algebraic. Ay, sorry, Bon. Katabi kasi.
18x po.
That's correct. That's 18x plus 9x squared. Tapos ano ang derivative nung x raised to the power of 7? Uy, paano? Para si Bon lang yung nagbasa ng module kahapon. What about the others? Tawag tayo. Ayaw mag-type. Miko Isguera, that's 7x to the 6th power. That is correct. 7x raised to the 6th power. So when you multiply that, that's 18x to the 8th power plus 7 times 9 is 63 x to the 8 parehas. Ayan. So this will be equal to 18 plus 63. Ayoko mag-math. It's 81. Kinalculator ko. X raised to the 8th power. Okay? Now, for the quotient rule, we have there the derivative of a quotient is not equal to the quotient of their derivatives. To determine the derivative of the quotient of two functions, we follow this rule. So same thing, we have two functions, u and v. Tapos nun, you have to get the derivative. Example, no, f of x is equal to x over 7 over 9x squared. So, minsan tinatawag to na low d high minus high d low over low squared. The derivative of the denominator denominator multiplied by the derivative of the numerator minus numerator multiplied by the derivative of the denominator over denominator squared. Kaya tinatawag ko siya kung nag-aaral ako na low d high minus, although this is substandard ha, but it works to me. I don't know if it will also works to you. Low d high minus high d low over low squared. Hindi siya hilo. Anyway, so our u there is x to the 7th power. Our v is 9x squared. Let us see how to find the derivative. We have v, low d high, low denominator, derivative multiplied by the, kalimutan ko lagi ang dx, dx of x to the 7 minus u, which is the numerator, x to the 7th power, derivative of the denominator, all over 9x squared. Hindi ko na siya paano ko ito ilalagay. Pwede, diretso ko na. So 9x squared multiplied by 7x to the 6th power minus x to the 7th power multiplied by 18x all over, sana magkasya, 9 times 9 ay 81x to the 4th power. So 9 times 7, that is 63. 63x to the 6th power minus 18 x to the, ay, bakit 7? 8, sorry. And then, nasa na ba ako? 18 x to the 8th power all over 81x to the 4th power. Ba't ba ilipat ko to dito? Ay, meron pa pala isa. Pakahirap ako. Ulit. Ulit natin ha. This is the quotient. The quotient rule. Anong problem natin kanina? X squared. Ito na naman. Anong tanggal to? Ayun, wala. Ranty ako. Hali ha. Okay, again. Ang ating problem ay x to the 7th power over 9x squared. So we have here, our u is x to the 7, our v is 9x squared. So f prime of x, we have, our v is 9x squared multiplied by the derivative of the numerator minus the numerator multiplied by the derivative of the denominator all over b squared, that's 9x squared. So this is 9x squared. Derivative ni dx ay, derivative ni x to the 7 rather ay 7x to the 6 minus x to the 7, and this is 18x. Bibilisan ko, this is 81x to the 4. So 63 x to the 8 minus 18 x to the 8 all over 81x to the 4th. 63 minus 18, that will give us 45. X to the 8 over 81x to the 4th. Pwede ba natin masimplify ang 45 over 81? May common ba sila? Meron silang common na 5, ano? 9. Divisible sila by 9, so that will be equal to, 9, correct, Peter. 5 over 9, and then x to the 4th power. This is the answer. Okay? Ang aking lesson ay dito talaga, yung mga practice exercises. To test kung talagang binasa niyo yung module, so gumawa ako ng mga practice exercises na pwede natin magamit. So, we have number 1, find f prime of x given that f of x is equal to 7x to the 4th minus 2x cubed minus plus 8x plus 5. It's an example of the polynomial, so napakadali niyang gawin. You can give me the derivative of number 1. Bon.
Ano po, sir? 28x raised to 3 minus 6x squared plus 8.
That is correct. Okay, pakita natin ang solution o hindi na kailangan? Please be honest. Hindi na kailangan? Pakita po. Sige. This is the solution. Ang ating f of x here ay 7x to the 4th minus 2x cubed plus 8x plus 5. So ang ating f prime of x will be 7 multiplied by 4 and then x 4 minus 1. So minus 2, ang exponent ng negative 2x cubed ay cube, times natin sa 3 yan, and then x 3 minus 1 plus 8. Ang exponent ng x ay 1, so times 1, x 1 minus 1. Ang derivative po ng constant base sa ating slide kanina ay 0. So ang 5 ay 0 na ang derivative niya. So this will be 28, x 4 minus 1 is 3. Negative 2 times 3 ay 6. x, 3 minus 1 ay 2, plus 8, x raised to the power of 0. Pero alam natin that any exponent, any expression raised to the power of 0 except 0 is equal to 1. So magiging 8 na lang siya. Kaya 28x cubed minus 6x squared plus 8. That's the derivative noong given. Okay. Question? Wala, no? Kung sumagot. Ano ba kay Louis? Namuha ka ng Korean. Please type mo. Okay. Let's have number 2. Ang sasagutan ko hanggang number 2. Sige, tapos kayo nang sasagot sa remaining problem. So let h is equal to 2x cubed minus 4x squared times 3x to the fifth plus x squared. Find h prime of x. So para hindi ka malhilo, you let u as, okay, pwede na may diretso to, ano? Okay lang ba? Huwag na, idiretso na natin. Ang sinasabi ng rule kanina, multiply natin yung first, ito yung u natin, ito yung v natin. So 2x cubed minus 4x squared multiplied by the derivative of the second, which is 3x to the fifth power plus x squared. Plus. Anong sunod? Plus. Okay, anong sunod? Yung derivative nung una. Sa una kasi ang derivative natin yung v. Ngayon ang ide-derivative natin ay yung una, which is 2x cubed minus 4x squared, multiplied naman natin ngayon sa 3x to the fifth power plus x squared. Saan galing yan? Yun yung y is equal to, ano yun? U dv plus v du. Yeah, that's correct, Miko. So, we have here 2x cubed minus 4x squared. You get the derivative of 3x to the fifth plus x squared. Ano kayong derivative niyan? Multiply mo lang, ano? Ang derivative niyan ay 15. Sino ba ito? Halito ako kung merong bon. Sige, Bon. 15 times
15 x raised to 4 plus 2x po.
That's correct. Kulang yan, Peter. Sa King. Plus, ito naman, derivative neto. Diretso mo na, Bon.
Plus derivative of, plus x, 6x squared minus 8x.
Okay, tapos?
Times 3x raised to 5.
Okay, ngayon, gagamitan mo siya ng FOIL method. So this will be 30 30x to the 7th power minus 4x to the 4th power. Hindi ko malalagyan ng arrow ha kasi gugulo yung solution. Minus, sundan nyo lang, 60 x to the 6 minus 8x cubed. Tapos yung kabila naman, 6 times 3, that's 18. And then x to the 7th power, 6 times x squared, or 6x squared times x squared, that is 6x to the 4th power. Negative 8x times 3x to the 5th, that's negative 24x to the 6th power. Negative 8x plus 8 plus x squared, that's negative 8x cubed. Hanapin mo yung magkakaparehas. Ito siya ay parehas. So this will give us 48x to the 7th power. And then, meron ba tayong 6 dyan? ito, at saka ito, parehas din. That will give us negative 84 x to the 6. And then for the fourth power, meron tayo dito negative 4x to the fourth power. Negative ba to? Or positive? Tama, ano negative? Ano sunod? Wala ako. Ito na. At saka ito. Bakit ang sagot ko dito positive? Kamali ba ako? Mamaya ako na tignan. This will be plus 2x to the fourth power and then minus 16. 1, 2, 3, 4 at saka ito. 16x cubed. That's the derivative. Check na ako, parang something went wrong to my solution. Himayin nga kung nasaan ako nagkamali. Okay.
Positive po yung 4x raised to 4.
Kasi, bakit?
Kasi po positive po yung
oo.
2x cubed.
Sabi na ito na mali eh. 2x cubed. So, dapat ito ay magiging 10. Okay? Now, the reason why I'm asking you, ito na pala, late pakit puwasok kay chat ni Miko and Ariel. The reason why I'm asking you kung nasaan yung mali dyan because I did an alternative solution. Do you know what's the alternative to this? Sinabi ba sa module yung alternative neto? Di binanggit? The other way of solving it is to expand first the polynomial. So in expanding the polynomial, that will give us 2 times 3, that is 6, x to the 5th power, 8 power, sorry, plus 4x to the 3 and 2, that will be what? Bakit 4? 2 lang dapat. Ulit. 2 times 3, that is 6, x to the 8th power, 2, tas ito, that's 2x raised to the 5th power, tapos ito, minus 12x to the 7th power, minus 4x to the 4th power. And tsaka ngayon natin i-apply yung derivative noong polynomial function. So this will give us 6 times 8, x, 8 minus 1, plus 2 times 5, x, 5 minus 1, minus 12 times 7, x, 7 minus 1, minus 4 times 4x, 4 minus 1. So the derivative now will be 48x to the 7th power plus 10x to the 4th power minus 84x to the 6th power minus 16x cubed, which is equal now to the first equation. Kuha, same lang siya. Ayan ah. So you can do this alternative when getting the derivative of two product ng function ng function. Okay? Now I'll give you 5 minutes. I think kaya yata ng 5 minutes to number 3. And you type your final answer. So, ang derivative nito ay ano? Anong rulings niyan? Excuse me.
Quotient.
BDU, di ba? Or hindi ko alam kung anong rule ang ginagamit nyo. You need help kung anong rule sa number 3? Silence means no. Go. Solve. Ano kung konti yung ma-attend sa klase nyo ng Google Meet? 20 lang kayo. Oh. Ang STEM 6, umaabot ka doon 3, 4. So, hindi pa. baka hindi alam ang gagawin na yung derivative niyan ay b du minus u dv all over b squared. Ang ating b po dyan ay ang denominator, ang u natin ay yung numerator. Baliktad. Hindi siya pwede pagbalikta rin dahil minus siya eh. Unlike king, kapag multiplication yan pwede. Pero, ito kasi sanay ako sa multiplication dito eh. Kesa ito. And y there is equal to u over v. Take 2, go. Pwede nang i-simplify yung denominator na x squared plus 1 quantity squared. Wag na. Kasi baka tumagal. Wala rin naman kayo makakancel dyan eh. Baka natagalan. Sana hirapan. Bakit matagal? Ay, magsalita kayo. Let's answer. Para yung mga susunod, magkaroon kayo ng idea kung anong gagawin. Is it okay? Ang tawag nga tayo. Ito na, may sagot si Cedric. 2x to the 4th plus 6x squared minus 8x. X squared plus 1. May kapares bang sagot o different na sagot kay Cedric? Sige, 1 more minute pa. From Bon, 2x. Pinactor niya. So, the same lang din to kay Cedric. 6x squared minus 8x. Okay lang mag-factor, Bon. Kaya lang, wala ka rin matanggal eh. So, kahit saan sa dalawa tatanggapin natin. Okay, let's continue. The answer of Cedric and Bon was correct. So, we have now the y prime here is equal to denominator times the derivative of the numerator minus the numerator multiplied by the derivative of the denominator all over denominator squared. So this will be x squared plus 1. The derivative of 2x cubed plus 4 is 6x squared. And then minus 2x cubed plus 4. The derivative of x squared plus 1 is 2x over x squared plus 1 squared. So this will be FOIL method 6x to the fourth power plus 6x squared. Ito po, minultiply ko lang. Minus, huwag kakalimutan ang parenthesis muna kasi minus pa ang ating operation. Ito naman, isimplify natin, which is 4x to the fourth power plus 8x over x squared plus 1 quantity squared. And then, 6x to the fourth plus 6x squared. May minus ka sa labas, so you have to distribute it. 4x to the fourth plus 8x over x plus 1 quantity squared. So, the derivative now will be 6x to the fourth minus 4x to the fourth will be 2x to the fourth plus 6x squared plus 8x all over x squared plus 1 quantity squared. This is now the derivative. Hindi ko alam kasi kung bakit yung low D high minus high D low over low squared gumagana sa akin. Ayoko siya ituro sa inyo kasi substandard kasi. Ito talaga yung rule na sinasabi ni book. But if it works to you, gamitin mo. Low D high minus high D low over low squared. Okay? Can we have the next one? Walang tanong dito. Your turn. Ito pa lang pala magsisimula. Division yan. It's the same with number 3. To go. 5 minutes. Low D high minus high D low ang NB below. So, gamitin nyo yung BDU. Meron na? Parang hindi enough yung 5 minutes. 10. Sige, 2 minutes pa. Bon? You want to say something? Ay, haba pala nito. Si Ariel. Negative x to the fourth plus 2x cubed plus 12x minus 6 over x cubed plus 6. Bakit siya minus x? Minus 6. From Nico is Guerra, negative x to the fourth plus 5x cubed minus 6x squared plus 12x. Oh, interesting. Magkakaiba rin sagot. From Bon, negative x to the fourth minus 2x cubed plus 6x squared plus 12x plus 6. Oh, iba din ang sagot. From Cedric, negative x to the fourth minus ba to? Minus 2x cubed plus 6x squared plus 12x plus 6. So same si Bon at saka si Cedric. From Carl Peter, okay, plus 4x squared. Iba din ang sagot niya. Okay, let us see. Medyo apat na magkakaibang sagot ang nakita natin. Tingnan natin kung sino yung tama. So here we have, let's have the denominator first, which is x cubed plus 6 multiplied by the derivative of the numerator, x squared plus x minus 2, minus the numerator multiplied by the derivative of the denominator, x cubed plus 6, over x cubed plus 6 quantity squared. So we have now x cubed plus 6, derivative of x squared plus x minus 2 is 2x plus 1, minus x squared plus x minus 2, derivative of 3x, x cubed plus 6, that's 3x squared, over x squared plus 6 quantity squared. So FOIL method now, x cubed times 2x, that's 2x to the fourth power. X cubed times 1, that's x cubed. 6 times 2x, that's 12x. 6 times 1, that's positive 6. Yun yung tinatanong ko kay Ariel kasi nag-negative 6 siya. Minus, we have 3x to the fourth plus 3x cubed plus minus 6x squared over x cubed plus 6. So we have now 2x to the fourth minus 3x to the fourth, we have negative x to the fourth. Tapos x cubed minus 3x squared, 3x cubed, that will be negative 2x cubed. 12x, wala tayong maisasama kay 12x. So this will be plus 6x squared plus 12x plus 6 all over x cubed plus 6 quantity squared. Okay? Parang may tumama ako na si Bon at saka si Cedric. Si Carl Peter na mali ng plus. Si Nico na mali yung 5x cubed. Si Ariel na mali yung plus 6 naging minus 6. May negative pala. Yep. Okay? Let's have the next one. Kaya ko pinorward ng maaga kasi isipin mo ang haba nito, isang lesson lang. Let's have number 5. Product. So mas madali siya. You have the option kung gagamitin niyo ba yung UDV plus BDU or i-distribute ko siya para maging polynomial as one polynomial na lang. I hope other students who are silent now will try to submit their answer. I haven't heard from George, Idokyo, Joshua Bumanglag, um, Kian, o Kian Morales, Kyle, Lord Lorenzo, Mark Adrian Luzaran, Mark Cernadilia, Mark Angelo, from Amante, Rain, Rain Andrew, Romel, Samantha, Timothy, 20x to the fourth plus 40x cubed plus 48. Bakit hindi mo pinagsama buwan yung 40x cubed saka 48x cubed? Ah, okay. Ito na pala. Ay, hindi. Kay Miko pala ito nasagot. 20x to the fourth plus 88x cubed plus 90x squared. Ayan, napagsama. 20x to the fourth. Oh, it seems that we have one uniform answer from the first three students. From Ariel, Bon, and Miko Isguera. From Cedric. Okay. So, isa lang yung sagot ano, from Ken Luis, from Gidokyo, the same lang din ang sagot. For the benefit of those students na medyo hindi pa rin nakuha ang sagot, we'll solve this one. So, ang ginawa nila, y pala to, di pa y prime. Careful with the symbol ha. Y pa lang muna. So, you distribute this. That's 4x to the fifth power. This is plus 10. X to the fourth power. This is plus 12, x to the fourth power. And then this will be plus 30x cubed. So y now is 4x to the fifth plus 22 x to the fourth plus 30x cubed. So dito ka palang mag-y prime, hindi sa taas ha. So this will be 20x to the fourth plus 88x cubed plus 90x squared. Next, number 6, division. From Cedric, negative, dalawa na pala to. From Bon muna. Negative 4x to the fourth plus 24x all over x plus 3, x cubed plus 3 quantity squared. Okay, from sino to? Cedric, the same with Bon. From Rainiel Amante, negative 4x to the fourth. Nakalimutan mo, Amante, yung exponent sa denominator. Carl Peter, okay, the same. Kasi Amante, naka-ano pa yan, naka-v squared. Yeah, that's correct. Idokyo, okay. So, let's try kasi we are running out of time, ano? The y prime there is denominator, which is x cubed plus 3, derivative of the numerator, or x squared, minus the numerator, and then multiplied by the derivative of the denominator, all over the denominator squared. So this will be x cubed plus 3, and derivative of 4x squared is 8x minus 4x squared. The derivative of x cubed plus 3 is 3x squared over x cubed rather plus 3 quantity squared. So 8x times x cubed, that's 8x to the fourth power plus 24x minus, this will be 12x to the fourth power over x cubed plus 3 quantity squared. Ang final answer dyan ay negative 4x to the fourth power excuse me, plus 24x over x cubed plus 2. Very good. Marami nakakuha. We have here Kian Morales, Gidoki na correct na Miko Esquera. Let's have the last one. Padang, sumadali lang. Seventy x to the 6 plus 60 x to the 4th. Okay. Bon and Ariel have the same answer. Mante, 70. Okay. From Joshua Bumanglag, 70x to the 6 plus 60x to the 4th minus 15x squared minus 6. Makalimutan ko yung x. Oo nga. 15 squared lang. Okay, let's have the, so f prime, f of x muna pala kasi minultiply nyo eh. That's x, 10x raised to the 7th power plus 12x to the 5th power minus 5x cubed minus 6x. So yung f prime of x natin will be 70x to the 6 plus 60x to the 4th minus 15x squared minus 6. Timothy, that's also correct. Carl Peter. Okay. So this will be activity number 2 to be submitted sa LMS. Hindi ko alam kung malabo, ano, pero try nyo 25, 26 hanggang 34. Baka mamayang gabi or bukas ko pa ito ma-upload na pagkatapos ng klase ko sa STEM 6. Do the screenshot. We'll send a PowerPoint later. Wait a minute, I'll get the attendance.